today we gonna paint with a purpose.
Hey,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I ain't never painted with a purpose before.
Yo.
And, you know, I be painting, but bro, for real, I be getting on myself. Like, I was painting with Tony one time, and I was just like, I just never finished it because I didn't like it.
What?
So I wanted to bring you here. Yeah, that'd be hard, you know what I mean? So I wanted to bring you here so that you could share what you do, your gift in the world, so people can learn more about you, and also so that we can highlight just some meaningful parts of our journey. So my name's Terrence Harris. We here on behalf of Bari Boutique. We sponsored by Canvas with the equipment. You know what I mean? We brought to you by Still Growing. It's a thing. It's a collaborative thing. So I want you to just introduce yourself and all that.
It still feel like a still growing special.
You know what I mean?
Peace. I'm Sheen Anthony, also known as the multi-dimensional creative being. And today, as the artist, because we're about to go into some multi-dimensional art.
Yeah.
I think the main part that I want to share with you before we even start is that, like, life is a canvas. So ultimately, when you're looking at your perspective, just allow yourself to flow within what you're creating. Like, allow the colors to speak to you as well. And let the intention flow instead of just like, what I'm about to make. Oh my God.
That you just said it. That's you just connected the canvas of life to my intimidation from it. Is like I've always thought of my life of this thing that needs to come out perfect until I started, you know, honoring self, going on my healing journey and things of that nature. Like I used to be very critical about the outcome of life. So that's I can see how that's a connecting through line with why I get so critical about what
because you looking at the zone and it's just like, oh my God, all this space. What I'm about to do with it? What color I'm about to put on here? Is it gonna look right? Is it gonna be perfect? It's just like the journey isn't perfect. Like it just flows. Like, but I think the best thing is to start with some white. Yeah. Just so that when you get able to just smooth it on out, and then when you add your colors, kind of like you can blend them, you can do all types of things. But like that's my suggestion as far as the flow, the guidance of it all. But other than that, it's a canvas, so you gotta create, you gotta go through the challenges, you gotta expand, you gotta accept what you create at the end of the day.
And I have a few questions, and I want to use these questions to form the intention of what's going to hit this canvas, but also align principles that I know that you can speak directly to because of just the great sense of self knowledge and knowing of self that you have right on that journey. So I do want to highlight too, though, like this is like our third conversation. This is gonna be our third drawing. I know it's the first drawing at the Newports.
Yeah.
Then we had Red.
Oh yeah, the next one Red. Oh, this is the third one.
So this is the third one.
Yeah.
So you know, if you haven't seen the other episodes, I'll clip them in there. I'll add a little link so you can just see how his journey has developed, how my journey has developed, and how a lot of the synergy that you'll see here today align. So you mentioned using white first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you the question before I even touch a paintbrush.
Okay.
All right. So this question is about identity and healing, right? So on your Instagram, there's a note that says, not being you is the biggest lie to yourself, right? That's like the first thing you're going to see when you get to Sheen's page. So what I want to ask is, in your experience, how does reclaiming your true identity actually show up as healing in the body, the mind, and in daily life? So we can break that down. Like we're going to flow and glow. So if you don't need me to reiterate or represent the question, feel fine. But that's the question. You know, you could even just start by explaining, why did you put that? Not being you is the biggest lie to yourself. I want to start here.
So that message came to me. Yeah, you gotta get the water. You gotta get the water and put that white up on there. That's probably the best way to start. But yeah, I think not being you is the biggest lie to yourself is something that I came to realize when I felt like I wasn't allowing myself to have the space to create. And I think ultimately I got stuck into like a cycle of doing what was comfortable for everyone else. Also, just like kind of honoring the energy that was around me, but actually not embodying the energy. Like I actually felt like it wasn't a part of me. It was something that I was just experiencing from everyone else. It's like going into a space and everybody like happy, but you're not as happy. So then like,
wow, yeah, I definitely had one of those moments.
You know,
when you said that, it clicked. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely been there.
It's like you're not feeling the best, but you see everybody else experiencing it. It's like gradually you might some of that energy might start to get onto you, or it might be a little more difficult. You know, so I think I started to recognize that I wasn't fully being myself. Like I wasn't fully accepting the embodiment of who I am, and part of it I think was remembering. So when I said like not being you is the biggest lie to yourself, I had to recognize what are the things that align with me, and I got more of that space when I did get fired from that job because I was able to just like sit with myself, like, what do you want to create? What do you want to do? And I think that kind of just that was the beginning. Like that was literally the beginning for me to accept that I can create more than what I think it is, and I can also be in the existence of myself and not feel like I have to be anything outside. I think really being anything outside of yourself, it feels like a lie. So I'm like, how can I not lie? How can I be my most honest, authentic self? And I feel like that was really just like finding my being and accepting who I am. But I had to find it. It was something like going through the creativity and allowing myself to experience a lot more than what I already done, and then be like, oh, this is more aligned with myself than what I thought was or what I was copying.
Yo. And so as you just told me that, because I've never asked you about your bio before. So now that you just said that, it helps me understand how you were able to help guide me through that chapter, right? I think we all might go through that chapter frequently. Like you go your high school self and your college. So I think that naturally develops. But what I gained from you is a deep sense of knowing what will be the self that you're gonna nurture infinitely, not just in this lifetime, but it's rooted in something that's greater and larger than yourself and more expansive than just your lifetime here. So it's like that's where I was when you re-entered my life was like defining my legacy or my essence. What was I gonna be in this world when I wasn't gonna be in this world no more? You know what I mean? And that was something that I knew what I wanted, but I was challenged in my reality, looking in the mirror every day, like you're not actually embodying that fully. Like there's moments when you shining in it and then you're sharing it and like you're getting the compliments of it, you're getting the criticisms of it. But like where does the truth lie within you as far as how that path is revealing itself and how determined you are to see it through? So thank you for like articulating it that way. I want to ask you too though, like, because I don't think I've ever really asked you this directly, but how did you like come from that space of like the negative self-talk, or maybe not the negative self, the lie? Like, how did you come out of the lie? Because I'm starting to notice, I'm like, okay, that's like your gift. You help people like come out of the lie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the root of it a lot of the time. It's like the truth. Yeah. So what was that chapter of your life like? I don't think I've ever really like locked in with you and asked like, what was I remember you showed me a song one time of the Sheen before the Sheen we know today, but like I just want to hear your interpretation of where you were at that time. Yeah, I never listened to that.
Honestly, I think it was very like giving like high school energy. Like when you're in school, I think you're not given that much space to really like become.
Or learn yourself, learn how you learn.
You just focusing on remembering other people's knowledge, what they're claiming to be knowledge.
Right. What they claim to be knowledge. Right.